Okay, so it's been like at least a week, I guess, since I had the video where I was talking about my childhood. Bluetooth gets annoying. Anyway, and I left it with to be continued because I had every intention of finishing that video like that night or the next day. And that night I actually recorded a finish to it, but I didn't like it. It just kind of didn't flow right. So the next day I tried again, tried a little bit different tactic. Still didn't like it. So I left it sit for a couple days, and I know several of you have been asking, yeah, you want to hear what happened afterwards. And so I was kind of like praying about it, and then I went, I know what's wrong. The thing is, you expect okay, let's backtrack. Every person who heard that story said to me, I would have never known that you had been treated that way when you were younger. Okay, so that's and it's not just YouTube. Every time I tell anyone that, it's like they don't even believe me because everybody says, I can't believe it. You would never know. So, trying to finish the video and continue with it, I realized I couldn't continue with it because that part is just not there anymore. A long time ago, when I really just got my act together and just said, God, I cannot keep trying to do things my way. It's just not working. I'm miserable. I just dumped everything on God. Just laid it at His feet and said, you take it. It got healed. Any residual that was left over from that time, it pretty much got healed. The only thing I could say that might be remainders of that was, okay, if you've watched any of my videos far enough back, you'll know I had an eating disorder my junior year in high school. I actually went through that twice, but it was miraculously healed both times. So that could be residual from the insecurities from the way I was treated in junior high. And I say I tend to be a loner. It's like, if you're in high school, I was like this. If my friends were doing something that I didn't feel like doing, I'd just go do my own thing. I don't care if I'm by myself. I don't care. I had a lot of friends in high school, even though, I am going to tell you a couple funny stories, but even though I was in complete culture shock because my parents moved us right after that experience I talked about in my last video. So when I finished junior high, my parents moved us to a different county. It's 1 hour inland from the Daytona Beach area, and it was just redneck Grand Central. No, I was a fish out of water there because I was used to hanging out with surfers. I was into the whole new wave music, valley girl talking. I hung out on the beach with my surfer friends all the time, which you would obviously never know now. But I just had a complete culture shock at a very impressionable age. But anyway, I can't just pick up where I left off on that story and continue because it's just gone. The way I was treated at that time, I'm not holding on to it. I'm not upset by it, and it builds character. The things that are the hardest to go through in our lives, when you look back on them, part of you wants to change it, but part of you knows, the bigger part knows, that that's what created the person you are. And it's your choice of whether you let those difficult times lead you in the right or the wrong direction. Because when you know how like when an airplane is flying on, okay, think of the series Lost. I love that show, Lost. The plane was on its track, on its path that was laid out for it, and then it got just like a couple of degrees off. Well, when you first get just a couple of degrees off, it's easy to correct and get back on track. But the longer you go in the wrong direction, off track of the course where you should be, it's a long way back to where you should be, okay? So, I did let that get me off track, even through high school. It didn't consume me, though, because I had a pretty good time in high school. Again, I'm going to get to that. So, anyway, I guess that's all I have to say on that part. I hope that helps somebody, or whatever. And now I'll tell you funny stories.